I know that hat format has been out for a little while, but as somebody who has just discovered this, I am very, very excited to the point where I am going to be making content on this. This is my first video on the brand new Clenday Channel, so I appreciate you being here, by the way. If you are new here, you know what? We'll get started with the intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy who's been a YouTube channel. So I want to walk you through exactly why I like hat format, my experience with the game, why I am so excited to this to the point where it's driving me to actually make content on this. Here's my story on why hat format is the perfect version of the card game that I grew up with and loved. We'll start with, I have been playing this game my entire life competitively with my brother on our off time, Dueling Nexus, online, whatever it may be. I have been a huge fan of this card game for a very, very long time. I've played every deck that there really is to play. I know everything about every deck. I unfortunately fell out of love completely with the game when Pendulums came around. I believe it is at the Zexal era. I could be wrong about that, but I eventually fell out of love with the game with Pendulums. I continued to play throughout Pendulums. Lynx. Once Lynx came in, I was like, and you know what? I was excited for Lynx too. Once Lynx actually came into the game, I was like, you know what? This is going to be fixing all the problems. This is awesome. No, it just made things even worse. And then the game that I grew up to love was not the same. I know I don't want to make this video, and this is definitely not going to be a channel talking about like, oh my god, this is why I fell out of love with Yu-Gi-Oh! Talking about like all of those things, but I think it's important if you're going to be making content on this, and specifically things like hat format, why I like this so much. Something that I really, really hate about the modern game is there is no strategy to the game anymore. There really isn't. It's basically like, I don't mean to be insulting, okay, because I know that there still is thinking involved with the game, but it's essentially just like, oh, this card does this, combo this, combo this. My whole board is out, my turn takes 15 minutes, and you can't do anything to stop my monsters. Oh, it can't be affected by spells, traps, monster effects. It can't be destroyed by battle either. There is no strategy to the game anymore. There's no thinking. You have to play the meta decks. You have to play the new, do they call it power creep? I could be wrong about that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's power creep. Regardless, like, to the point where the cards are so good, all you can do is release cards that are even stronger and stronger and stronger, metas that are even stronger. There is no point now where, and this is why I like hat format, is because you can play any deck. I personally, for example, love the Fortune Lady archetype. I love it. I love the deck. I think it flows fun. Future Visions is very fun to me. That's not possible to play in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Hat format, you can make it work. There is a great support system you have out. There's great cards that you can intertwine with your spellcasters, and you can make a banger Fortune Lady deck. Anything can compete. Strategy is there. People like can win tournaments just by introducing like one card that nobody ever thought to play. You cannot do that in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is coming from somebody who played, and I don't know, like at this point in time, recording this video on April 18th, 2025, yeah, okay. There are some things that I'm not familiar with right now. I stopped playing around when Lynx started dominating the game. Like shortly after they were introduced, I was like, nope, that's it. We're done with this. I stuck through it with Pendulums. Lynx were the final nail in the coffin for me. But the fact that the game felt automated, the fact that I couldn't just play any deck that I wanted anymore, the fact that the turns took forever, and the stupid rules are only getting stupider with time. And don't get me wrong, those rules existed in hat format, and they still do exist in hat format as well. Like, oh, I could go, you know what? That'd be a great video to make. What I don't like, the stupid rules that I've come to play in Yu-Gi-Oh! Man, I'll just tell you one right now. The worst one for me is Starlight Road. Starlight Road. If there's I don't remember the exact text, okay? Your opponent plays a card that'll destroy 2 or more cards in your field. You play this, you negate it, you special summon Stardust Dragon. Why can't I use my Stardust Dragon's effect? Because it didn't meet the proper requirements for a synchro summon. Dude! The rules like that only got worse with time. Worse. Destiny Hero Diamond Dude. You mill a card. If it's a spell, you can use it next turn. Oh, actually, I don't have to pay a cost. What? That's ridiculous. Where does it say that you don't have to pay the cost? Oh, technically, it's because it says that you have to activate the effect. No, you're activating the card. I hate that. It's like the whole targeting thing. You know, it's like, yeah, some cards you need to make sure that it says the word target, even though you're using the effect on one particular target. There are so many rules to this game, and it only got dumber as time goes on. I dealt with it in hat format, okay? I dealt with it, and I hated it. But as the game continued on, the rules just got dumber and dumber and dumber. And I know those have existed since hat format, like another one. I'm a big X-Saber guy, okay? Love the X-Sabers. Dark Soul's a great card. If I use Dark Soul and make an XYZ monster, I detach Dark Soul. Where is it going? To the graveyard. That means I can activate XX Saber Dark Soul's effect, where I get an X Saber to my hand at the end of the turn because it went to the graveyard. I know I'm just turning this video into the stupid rules, but it's like, oh, well, it doesn't count when you detach it. Where did it go? It went to the goddamn graveyard. Like, it's driving me crazy what these rules are, and it only got worse with time. Okay? I feel like this game also turned into, and I don't know how these actually made, like, official rulings, okay? I feel like, and something that I talked about too, and I talked about this, like, because I've also played competitive Smash my whole life, Smash Bros. I always felt like my brother and I, and a select few other people, were, like, the only normal ones who attended these events. We felt so out of place. Because, like, honestly, I'm a relatively normal guy. I take care of myself, I shower, I have my life together, you know? And I don't mean to be insulting, but you have to actually, like, look around to find people like you. And it sucks. And that's also a reason why I wanted to play online. You felt no community because I don't want to hang out with a bunch of people that don't shower. My point in bringing up the community, though, is because I still don't understand to this day how these official rules made it in. I feel like the entire Yu-Gi-Oh community is like... I feel like it's like in high school, okay? You know how when you look and... I hate saying this because it seems outdated, but nerds. You know what I'm talking about when I say nerds? Like, not losers, because nerds aren't losers, okay? Regardless, there's a group of people that nobody likes. But then there's the group leader of the people that nobody likes, and he's like the coolest loser of the losers. I feel like what happened with this game, and I know that there's nothing to back this up, it's just my own my own idea with this, and I believe it to be completely true. I feel like what happened to this is that group leader loser was losing a game one time, or he had Destiny Hero Diamond Dude on the field. No, you know what? Starlight Road, my least favorite ruling of all time. He activated like Heavy Storm or something. Starlight Road hit him, and then his opponent tried to use Stardust Dragon's effect. He was about to lose a duel, and he's like, actually, that never met the proper requirements for a synchro summon, therefore you can't use Stardust Dragon's effect. And they were like, oh, is that how it works? I feel like that's what happened. I feel like it's a situation of a few group leader losers that have made the rulings for this game so ridiculous. Where does it say that I can't use my Stardust Dragon's effect? It's stupid. It's all stupid. I hate the direction this game's going. I hated the community around it. I hated how ridiculous the game got with the power creep. I hate that there's no strategy involved anymore. I hate how I watch somebody play for 15 minutes just to not be able to do anything. Whoever goes first, whoever draws like their combo first. It's ridiculous. I like it when there was strategy. I liked it when I would actually like play against somebody and you didn't know what they were going to use. You could run into a Fortune Lady. You could run into a Frog Monarch. You could run into an Amazonas deck. It all worked. And that was the beauty of Hat Format. And this is why I am so excited about this, because first of all, I need to find somewhere online to play this. I am so excited to the point where I'm going to make content on this. I have enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh! My entire life. My entire life I've enjoyed it. But the game just got horrible. And I know like in Hat Format 2, you have the tier 1 decks, you have the S tier decks, but everything pretty well was viable. Like you could play whatever you wanted. You could build your own decks. The strategy and possibilities were endless. Thinking was brought back to the game. Another thing that I loved is you have these boss monsters. Right now it's just like, you could bring out like the most ridiculous monster with ease, right? You used to have things like, only thing that comes off the top of my head right now is Shooting Quasar Dragon, right? That's a ridiculous card. That has a ton of text. That's another thing. Like, the amount of text that you have to read is ridiculous on cards now. What happened to effects? What happened to trap cards? You don't use those anymore. I'm bouncing all over the place with this video. But to go back to something like Shooter Quasar Dragon, that's a boss monster. It took a player with an incredible amount of skill setting that up in order to get Shooting Quasar Dragon out. And then you have the boss monster with all the text and all of these great effects. And then you had to really, really overcome that monster. To bring out an incredible card was difficult in the Hat Format. It required strategy. It required actually thinking. It required being a good player. You no longer have that in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! But why do I like Hat Format? Because I think it's the perfect blend of a competitive game where you can do whatever you want. You can be as creative as possible. You can build strategies. Traps were actually legal. I really, really liked the Exceed monsters. I thought they were a great addition to the game. While there still are stupid rulings with them, you have the Exceeds, the Synchros, the Fusions, all of these great cards. A lot of people like to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Simplicity. I don't like it when it was simple. For example, I don't like GOAT format. I don't like it when it's simple. I like it when it is a very, very difficult and competitive game, but I don't want it to be automated like it is now. I don't want it to just be, oh, I'm watching someone play. You have a back and forth exchange, kind of like a chess game. That's what was so great about this game. I didn't know HAT format existed, and actually, you know what, I'll get into this now because I stopped really kind of, like, I kept up here and there about what was going on in the world, but I didn't really look a little bit more into it until, what's funny is, if you've been following any of my other channels, which if you're brand new to this channel, feel free to check out. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. My sister and I actually sat down. I have a 1-year-old daughter, and we were looking for childhood shows to show her. We just randomly put on Yu-Gi-Oh! GX for the hell of it, because we liked watching it growing up, right? My daughter couldn't care less, but my sister and I had fun watching it. I haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh! GX since I was a kid. Long story short, I kept watching it, and I watched all 3 seasons of it. And then I got a little bit hyped up, so I started looking up, like, old Dueling Nexus decks that I had and stuff, and just, like, you know, I wanted to look it up. I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but I stumbled upon HAT format, and then once I started reading it, I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. This is the perfect game. This is the perfect way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was ever built. It's the perfect blend of everything. Edison format is okay. I enjoy Edison format. It's still a little bit, I don't want to say on the simple side, but there's so much that was so great that came out from Yu-Gi-Oh! That isn't available. Like, you have the first iteration of Synchro Monsters and a little bit beyond that, I think. I would have liked, like, for example, X-Sabers. I can't play the X-Sabers. I can't play Frog Monarch. Ronin Tonin wasn't available. There are a lot of really, really fun decks and different cards and different deck types that you can use that came after that wasn't completely busted. Yeah, you know what? Once we get into the modern day stuff, then you have things that were completely busted. But Edison was like, it's getting there, but it wasn't really there. I'm somebody who personally does not enjoy GOAT format at all. It is the most simple version of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't like the idea of normal monster here, attack, you know, basic trap cards. And I have all the respect in the world for people who like to play it, and I have all the respect in the world for people who like to play the modern game. It's just not for me personally. HAT format, I believe, to be the perfect blend of strategy, fun, competitiveness, difficulty level, everything. The game was as perfect as it could possibly be in HAT format. You know what? A little bit off topic, but for those of you coming over from the Clen Channel, it's a Fortnite channel if you're brand new to this channel over here, something that I always like to describe Yu-Gi-Oh! As in is like how Fortnite players or casual Fortnite players describe how the state of the game of Fortnite is now. That's how Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually is. So you ever realize that there's a guy who ended up like quitting Fortnite? He's like, I can't play Fortnite anymore. The skill level's just too good. You go up against one person and they're building a Taj Mahal. You should see the structures that they're building. But in reality, they're building like the most basic ramp rush that is possible to build, and it would take you like maximum an hour in creative mode to learn how to do that. It's just a very, very simple thing. How those people act like the Fortnite players have become is how the Yu-Gi-Oh! Players actually have become. It's been ridiculous to the level of the power creep, the untouchable monsters, the automated gameplay, the lack of, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but the lack of thinking. That is like a perfect description of how Fortnite players describe how Fortnite is. While that's not accurate, it is accurate for Yu-Gi-Oh! I personally do not love the modern game. I am excited to talk about HAT format. I'll talk about decks. I'll talk about the art that I love on the cards. This is actually bringing me back to the game. I need to find somewhere online to play this because I did not know that existed. I am very, very happy that I came about this. That is going to be the basis of this channel, is the HAT format. I think it's the perfect game, and hopefully with time, it only grows and grows and grows, just like we've seen with GOAT and just like we've seen with Edison, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Check out this video on screen right now. YouTube thinks you will like it the best. I would love to have you over there. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care.